a lot of redheads. Including the redhead at the time that we recorded it, that I recorded it with. And she's been a redhead since then, but there's been some, well, some other shades. But tonight I'm singing with Eleanor Whitmore. About a block from my apartment in New York City, there is a Catholic church. And it's a really old church. It's built in the 1830s. And I like a lot of the neighborhood.
What church, Steve?
And it's, I walk by it every day when I'm home on my way to the gym, or, you know, I see it out of the corner of my eye when I turn around to go to training. But it's Tim Robbins grew up in my neighborhood, and we were walking by one day, and he said, you know, I was an altar boy in that church. And I said, you know, things have gotten so tough out there that they've opened up a soup kitchen there. Because I began seeing people coming out of there some mornings with, styrofoam containers and, cups. And they were being fed there. And he said, no, man, there's always been a soup kitchen here. Since I was a kid, it's a Catholic charity that's been a fixture in this part of New York City. And it dawned on me, what I was witnessing was the demand had increased to the point that the line was going out the door and up 6th Avenue. And so suddenly I was seeing it for the first time after living in the neighborhood and walking by the church for 5 years. So, got me thinking that it is a choice what we see and what we don't see, and who we see and who we don't see. Connected to the ground line, I made it fine, kept it lost.